I welcome you to my channel. Subscribe and listen to my new stories every day. The morning sunlight streams through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow over the breakfast table. I sit across from Clover, my wife, and mother of our two beautiful children. She looks radiant today, her curly hair cascading over her shoulders, her smile bright. But beneath that surface, something feels off. "Babe, I have some news," she says, her voice a mix of excitement and nervousness. I put down my coffee, my heart racing with anticipation. "What is it?" I ask, a grin spreading across my face. "I'm pregnant," she exclaims, her eyes sparkling. "We're having another baby." I can't help but beam at her, overwhelmed by joy. "That's amazing. We've always talked about having a big family. I can't believe it." As she leans across the table to kiss me, I feel a surge of happiness, thinking of the adventures ahead with 3 children. But a nagging thought flickers in the back of my mind. Something feels off, but I push it aside, unwilling to let doubt taint this moment. Weeks pass, and the initial thrill of her pregnancy begins to blend into the humdrum of daily life. I help Clover with the kids, juggling their needs while trying to support her through her pregnancy. Yet, I can't shake that unsettling feeling. It grows each day, gnawing at me until I finally decide to confront her. "Clover, are you okay?" I ask one evening as we sit together after putting the kids to bed. "You seem a bit distant lately." She looks up, surprise etched on her face. "What do you mean?" I hesitate, searching for the right words. "I don't know. I just feel like there's something you're not telling me." Her gaze shifts, avoiding mine for a moment. "You're imagining things." "I'm just tired, that's all." But my instincts scream at me to dig deeper. I take a deep breath, gathering my courage. "Clover, I love you, and I want to be there for you. But I need you to be honest with me. Is there something going on that I don't know about?" Her face pales, and for a fleeting second, I see something flash in her eyes, a hint of guilt. "No. There's nothing going on. You're just being paranoid," she snaps, her voice sharper than I expected. The conversation ends there, but the seed of doubt has been planted. I start paying closer attention to her behavior. I notice her late-night phone calls, the whispers she hastily ends when I walk into the room. Each moment adds to my growing suspicion. One night, unable to contain my curiosity, I quietly take her phone while she's in the shower. My hands tremble as I scroll through her messages. There, amidst the mundane texts, I find one that sends a chill down my spine. "I can't wait to see you again. Our little secret is safe." My heart races, pounding in my chest like a war drum. I feel sick, the betrayal cutting deeper than I thought possible. Clover has been unfaithful, and I've been a fool. The reality hits me like a freight train. All our children, are they even mine? I confront her, my heart pounding with rage and disbelief. "Clover, who is he?" Her eyes widen in shock, panic washing over her face. "What are you talking about?" "The messages. I saw them. You've been cheating on me." "Stop it," she yells, her voice breaking. "You don't understand." I shake my head, my heart aching. "No, I do. I've been blind all this time. How could you do this to our family?" Tears stream down her cheeks, but they only fuel my anger. "I loved you, Clover. I thought we were happy." As her sobs fill the kitchen, I feel a cold resolve wash over me. This isn't the end. I won't let her destroy my life and get away with it. "I want a divorce," I declare, the words bitter on my tongue. "Please, don't say that," she begs, reaching out to me. But I pull away, my mind racing with thoughts of revenge. I've been a loving husband, a devoted father, and she has betrayed everything we built together. "I'll make you regret this," I whisper, my voice low and steady. As I walk away, I can already feel the weight of the plan forming in my mind. a plan to break her life, to make her understand the pain she caused me. Clover will learn that betrayal comes at a cost, and I'm prepared to collect. In the following days, the thought of our impending divorce lingers like a dark cloud over my head. I begin to plot my revenge, envisioning each step carefully. It will take time, but I won't let her have the last word. As I stare out the window, watching the kids play in the yard, I resolve to make my move. I won't just walk away, I will make sure Clover feels the full weight of her actions. The thought ignites a fire within me, a fire of determination fueled by betrayal, ready to burn everything she holds dear. And thus, the battle begins. The days blur into each other after I confront Clover. The house, once a sanctuary, now feels like a battleground, filled with tension and unspoken words. The kids, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface, laugh and play, their innocence a stark contrast to the chaos of my thoughts. I can't let them see the turmoil, they deserve better than the fallout of Clover's betrayal. One afternoon, while I'm folding laundry in our bedroom, Clover walks in, her face pale and drawn. "Can we talk?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. I fold another shirt, keeping my gaze on the task. "What's there to talk about, Clover? You've made your choices." "I didn't mean for it to happen," she says, desperation creeping into her voice. "It was a mistake, and I love you." I drop the shirt, turning to face her. "Love? Is that what you call it? You think you can just sweep this under the rug because you feel guilty?" Her eyes glisten with tears. "I made a mistake, but I want to make it right. Please, let's try to fix this." I shake my head, my heart hardened. "Fix what? You've shattered everything. You think saying sorry will magically undo the damage? It doesn't work like that." She steps closer, reaching out. "Don't do this. I'll prove to you that I can be better." I step back, my pulse racing. "Better? You're not the person I thought I married. You're someone I don't even recognize anymore." With that, I walk past her, my resolve strengthening. I need to execute my plan, and the sooner I start, the better. I spend the next few days devising ways to hit her where it hurts. I research her recent purchases, browsing through our shared accounts, looking for clues. Late one night, after the kids are asleep, I sit at the kitchen table, my laptop open in front of me. I have a list of potential targets, places Clover frequents, friends she hangs out with. My phone buzzes beside me, pulling me from my thoughts. It's a message from Jake, my best friend. "Hey, man. Want to grab a drink? I think you could use one." I hesitate but eventually reply, "Sure. I need to vent." We meet at our usual spot, a dimly lit bar with old wooden booths and a jukebox in the corner. As I take a seat, Jake looks up, concern etched on his face. "You good? I heard about the divorce." I let out a bitter laugh. "Good? I'm far from good, man. Clover's been cheating on me. I just found out all our kids aren't even mine." His eyes widen in shock. "What? Are you serious?" I nod, taking a deep breath. "I'm going to make her regret it, you know. She'll learn that betrayal has consequences." Jake leans forward, his expression serious. "What are you planning?" "I'm still figuring that part out, but I have some ideas. I want to expose her to everyone she's been lying to, friends, family, everyone." "That's harsh," he says, shaking his head. "But if it's what you want. It's not just about revenge. It's about making her feel the weight of her choices," I explain, the fire of determination igniting within me. "Okay, man. Just be careful. You don't want this to blow up in your face." I take a long sip of my drink, letting the cool liquid wash down the fire in my throat. "I'll be careful. But I won't let her walk away unscathed." As the night drags on, I outline my plan to Jake. I want to use social media to my advantage. I can expose her infidelity with the very people who supported her, the ones who cheered her on as a devoted mother. The thought sends a thrill through me. The next morning, I start putting my plan into action. I create a fake social media account, a place where I can gather evidence and orchestrate my revenge without drawing suspicion. I comb through Clover's posts, noting the friends she tagged, the places she frequented, and the pictures that hold memories of our family, memories I can twist into something darker. I know I have to strike while the iron is hot, so I start by contacting her closest friends. I send them messages from my fake account, painting Clover as the perfect mother and wife, but hinting at the secrets hidden beneath the surface. Hey! I hope you don't mind me reaching out. I've been following Clover's posts, and I just can't help but wonder if everything is okay. I've heard some things. I can feel the anticipation buzzing in my veins as I hit send. I spend the day waiting for responses, my heart pounding with excitement and fear. By evening, the notifications start rolling in. Is she okay? What do you mean? One friend replies. Yeah, I've noticed she's been acting differently, another texts back. The responses are exactly what I wanted, doubt and concern creeping into the minds of those who once idolized her. That night, I confront Clover again. I wait until she's had a long day, her nerves frayed and her defenses down. I talked to a few of your friends today, I say, my voice steady. Her eyes narrow. Why would you do that? You have no right to invade my privacy. Privacy? You've shared everything with the world, but I'm the one who's been kept in the dark. Your lies are unraveling, Clover. People are starting to question you. Stop it, she snaps, her anger boiling over. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, but I do. I'm just getting started, I reply, a smirk forming on my lips. The realization dawns on her, my plan is not just revenge, it's a systematic dismantling of her carefully constructed life. You wouldn't, she breathes, fear flickering in her eyes. I take a step closer, my voice dropping to a whisper. Watch me. As I turn to leave, I can almost feel the weight of her panic hanging in the air, a reminder that this battle has only just begun. The intrigue of the main plot lingers as I navigate the delicate balance between revenge and the consequences of my actions. I'm prepared for the fallout, but the thrill of seeing Clover squirm fuels my determination. Each step I take draws me closer to breaking her, and with each passing day, I can feel the power shift in my favor. The game is on, and I'm ready to play. The days drag on like a slow march, each moment thick with tension. I'm on high alert, watching Clover's every move, waiting for the right moment to tighten the noose around her deception. I've sent messages to her friends, and I can tell they're starting to piece things together. The thrill of my plan fills me with a dark energy, propelling me forward. One evening, as I'm cleaning up after dinner, my phone buzzes with a message from one of Clover's friends, Sarah. Hey, can we talk? I've heard some things about Clover. I'm really worried. A smile creeps across my face as I reply, sure, I can meet. Let's discuss what you've heard. We arrange to meet at a local cafe, a place where Clover often hangs out with her friends. I arrive early, sitting in a booth by the window, my heart racing with anticipation. When Sarah arrives, her face is drawn, worry etched in her features. Thank you for meeting me. I'm really concerned about Clover. She's been acting strangely, and I heard rumors. I lean in closer, feigning concern. What have you heard? She glances around, ensuring no one is listening. I heard she's been seeing someone else. Someone who's not you. The words cut through me, sharper than a knife. I know, I reply, my voice steady. She's been unfaithful. I'm just trying to gather evidence before I confront her again. Sarah's eyes widen in shock. You're serious? But she seemed so happy. I chuckle bitterly. That's the thing about deception, it can be so convincing. But it's all an act. Sarah looks conflicted, glancing at her phone. I don't know what to do. I don't want to betray her, but I can't stand by if she's hurting you. You're already involved, I say, leaning back in my seat. Just know that I'm not going to let her walk away from this unscathed. She needs to feel the consequences of her actions. After an intense conversation, I leave the cafe with a sense of triumph. I can see the walls closing in on Clover, the web I've spun tightening around her. That night, as I lie in bed, I can hear Clover moving around the house, her usual routine disrupted by the weight of my accusations. I wonder if she senses the change in the air, the shift in the balance of power. Are you okay? She calls out, her voice tinged with an edge of uncertainty. I feign innocence. Just thinking about the kids. They're so young, and they deserve to be happy. Her silence speaks volumes, and I can almost hear her mind racing as she processes the weight of my words. The following days are filled with whispers and secrets. I continue to talk to Clover's friends, sowing doubt about her fidelity. Each message I send is calculated, aimed at drawing them into my web. I want them to question her, to challenge the facade she's built. One afternoon, I find myself at the park with the kids. As they play, I spot Clover across the way, chatting animatedly with a man. My heart races. Is this her lover? I pull out my phone, snapping a quick picture. Daddy! Watch me, my son calls, pulling me back to the moment. I glance at him, forcing a smile. I'm watching, buddy. But my mind is elsewhere, fixed on the scene unfolding in front of me. I watch as Clover laughs, a sound that once brought me joy now twisting in my stomach. I turn my attention back to my kids, but the image of her with that man is burned into my mind. That evening, as we're putting the kids to bed, I seize the opportunity to confront her. Clover, who were you talking to at the park today? Her eyes widen, surprise flooding her face. What? I was just chatting with a friend. Just a friend? I scoff. You seem to have a lot of those lately. Don't do this, she pleads, her voice rising. You're imagining things again. I step closer, my voice low and cold. I'm not imagining anything. I see the way you act around me, the way you laugh with other men. It's pathetic. Pathetic, she shoots back, her anger flaring. You have no idea what you're talking about. I take a deep breath, trying to rein in my emotions. I'm trying to understand how you could do this to our family. I loved you. She throws her hands up in frustration. And I loved you. But things changed. You can't just expect everything to stay the same. I clench my fists, fighting the urge to yell. You don't get to blame this on me. You made your choices, and now you'll face the consequences. With that, I turn and walk away, leaving her standing there, fuming. My heart races as I plot my next move. The next day, I receive a message from one of Clover's friends, Emily. I can't believe what I've heard. Are you okay? I reply quickly, my mind racing. I'm far from okay. Clover's been unfaithful, and I have the proof. Emily responds almost instantly. What do you mean? What proof? I type back, my fingers flying over the screen. I have messages, witnesses, everything. I'm going to expose her, and I'm not stopping until everyone knows the truth. Emily's reply is immediate. I'm in. What do you need me to do? With that, I can feel the power shift even more in my favor. I start organizing a plan to bring the truth to light, targeting Clover's social circle. I know it will hurt her deeply, but she needs to understand the impact of her actions. As the days pass, I gather more information, reaching out to friends and acquaintances. I can see Clover's carefully constructed world starting to crack. One evening, I set up a gathering at our house, a casual get-together with some of Clover's closest friends. I invite them under the guise of wanting to mend fences, hoping to catch Clover off guard. As the guests arrive, I can feel the tension rising. Clover walks in, surprised to see everyone. "What's going on?" she asks, her eyes darting around the room. "I thought we'd all get together and catch up," I reply, forcing a smile. Clover's face falls, and I can see the gears turning in her head. She senses that something isn't right. As the night unfolds, I subtly steer the conversation toward relationships. "Isn't it wild how people can be so deceptive?" I remark casually, watching Clover's reaction closely. Her gaze flickers nervously. "What do you mean?" "Oh, I say, feigning nonchalance. People can hide their true selves and pretend everything is fine. It's quite fascinating, really." The tension in the room thickens, and I can see Clover's friends exchanging glances. Suddenly, Emily speaks up, her voice shaking slightly. "Clover, I heard some things. Is everything okay?" Clover's eyes dart toward me, panic rising. "What do you mean?" Before she can respond, I cut in, my voice dripping with accusation. "Maybe you should tell them about your little secret, Clover. About the lies you've been telling." The room falls silent, and I watch as her facade crumbles, the reality of her betrayal crashing down around her. "I don't know what you're talking about," she stammers, desperation creeping into her voice. "But the truth is out there, and it's only a matter of time before it consumes her." As the night wears on, I can see the shock and disbelief in the eyes of her friends, the betrayal hanging heavy in the air. I lean back in my chair, a sense of satisfaction washing over me. This is only the beginning, and I'm ready to watch Clover's world unravel piece by piece. The intrigue of my revenge plan deepens, the tension thickening as the web of deception closes around her. With each passing moment, I feel the power shifting more into my hands, and I relish the thought of what's to come. The atmosphere is electric in the days following the gathering. Clover's friends are torn between disbelief and concern, whispering amongst themselves. The tension between us is palpable, a charged silence hanging in the air as we coexist under the same roof. I can see the weight of my revelations crushing her, yet there's a flicker of defiance in her eyes that fuels my resolve. I spend sleepless nights plotting, my mind racing with the details of my revenge. Clover's world is crumbling, but it's not enough. I want her to feel the full weight of her betrayal, to know that her lies have consequences. The following week, I decide it's time to take the final steps in my plan. I gather the evidence I've collected, messages, photographs, and witness accounts, everything that exposes her infidelity and lack of remorse. I create a presentation, a digital dossier I can share widely, one that will shatter her reputation completely. I plan a meeting with Clover's closest friends, those who showed concern after the last gathering. I invite them over for what I claim is a chance for reconciliation. They show up, albeit with hesitant expressions, sensing the tension still lingers between Clover and me. As they settle in the living room, I can see Clover pacing in the kitchen, unaware of my intentions. I motion for everyone to gather around. "Thank you for coming. I know things have been rough lately, but I think it's time to clear the air," I begin, my voice steady, masking the storm brewing inside me. Clover walks into the room, her expression a mixture of confusion and dread. "What's going on?" she demands, her eyes darting between me and her friends. I turn to her, feigning innocence. "I just wanted everyone to know the truth about our situation. After all, you've been quite open with some of your secrets." "What secrets?" she retorts, her voice rising defensively. Without answering, I project the screen behind me. The room darkens as images flash, screenshots of her messages, her rendezvous with her lover, the laughter shared in moments meant for me. Gasps fill the room as her friends realize the depth of the betrayal. "Clover," I say, my voice icy. "You've lied to everyone, including me. You thought you could hide your infidelity behind a mask of normalcy. But here's the reality." As the images flicker, I watch Clover's face drain of color. "This isn't fair," she screams, her hands balled into fists. You're ruining my life. Your life. I retort, my voice rising. What about my life? What about the kids? You've shattered everything we built together. Her friends sit in stunned silence, processing the betrayal laid bare before them. Some look at Clover with pity, others are filled with anger. Why didn't you tell us? One friend, Sarah, finally breaks the silence. Clover looks around, her expression shifting from anger to desperation. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I thought I could fix things. But I can see the betrayal sinking into her friends, the weight of her deception heavy in the air. I continue, my voice low but steady. This isn't about fixing things. This is about the consequences of your actions. You will face what you've done. Clover's facade crumbles completely. You're a monster, she shouts, tears streaming down her cheeks. Maybe, I reply, the anger bubbling beneath the surface. But I'm not the one who betrayed my family. The tension in the room thickens as I notice Clover's friends turning their backs on her, their expressions shifting from concern to betrayal. I can see the isolation wrapping around her like a vice, and a twisted sense of satisfaction washes over me. Is this what you wanted? Clover cries, her voice cracking. To destroy me. To make me suffer. I take a step closer, my voice cold and unyielding. You've already done that to yourself. You thought you could play with fire and not get burned. One of her friends, Emily, stands up, glaring at Clover. You lied to all of us. You made us believe in your perfect family, and it was all a facade. With that, the dam breaks. Clover's friends begin to leave, shaking their heads in disappointment and anger. Clover, we can't be part of this anymore, Sarah says, her voice trembling. You need help. As the last of her friends exit, the silence in the room feels like a suffocating blanket. Clover stands there, a broken woman, staring at the floor, her reality shattering before her. Now what? She asks, her voice barely a whisper. I take a deep breath, feeling a strange mix of anger and pity. Now you face the consequences, Clover. This is the end of us. I never wanted this, she pleads, stepping closer. I hold up a hand, stopping her. It doesn't matter what you wanted. You chose this path. You brought this upon yourself. As I turn to leave, I glance back one last time. I'll make sure everyone knows the truth about you. You won't escape this. The door slams behind me as I step into the cool night air, a mixture of exhilaration and emptiness flooding my veins. I've exacted my revenge, but at what cost? I realize that while I may have brought Clover's deception to light, I've also lost something vital in the process: trust, love, and the future I envisioned with her. In the following days, I share the evidence with the community, friends, family, even social media. The fallout is explosive. Clover becomes the talk of the town, the woman whose life spiraled into chaos because of her own choices. I feel a hollow victory. With every message I send, every post I share, I can see the pain it inflicts on her. But even as the retribution unfolds, I find no satisfaction in it. One evening, as I sit alone in my living room, a knock echoes through the silence. I open the door to find Clover standing there, eyes red from crying. Please, she begs, her voice breaking. I can't take this anymore. You've ruined me. I can't see our kids, they hate me. I swallow hard, the guilt flooding back. You did this to yourself. You chose to betray me, to betray our family. I was wrong, she cries, desperation in her voice. I never wanted to hurt you or the kids. I thought I could fix everything. But her pleas fall on deaf ears. It's too late for that, Clover. We're done. I can't forgive you. Her shoulders slump, defeat washing over her. So, this is it. We're just over. I nod, the finality of it weighing heavily on my heart. Yes, Clover. You've chosen this path. We part ways because of your betrayal. With that, I close the door, shutting out the woman I once loved. I feel a wave of emptiness wash over me, knowing that we are forever changed, our lives entwined in a tragic story of deception and retribution. As I settle into the silence of my home, I realize that I have lost not just a wife, but the family I thought I had. The hatred born from betrayal lingers like a shadow, and I know that we are forever marked by this painful chapter in our lives. The cycle of betrayal and retribution has come full circle, leaving scars that may never heal. In the end, the pursuit of revenge has consumed us both, leaving nothing but heartbreak in its wake.